So I chose to get on before all of the fireworks really start going off because right now it's the calm before the storm. Right now, it's still relatively quiet. I hear a few here and there. However, nothing drastic as of yet. And I remember, I think it was 4th of July last year. I was in Maui and the fireworks were like nonstop, where it sounded like a show. It was till 6 in the morning and it was quite loud. And I had spoken on my other live about the sensitivity for some of those who are sensitive to fireworks. There's individuals that have a hard time because it brings up things if you have post-traumatic stress disorder or have been in combat. And my father is one of those. Therefore, I'm sensitive to it. I'm aware of it. And I find it honest to share of the awareness at times of how fireworks affect people. However, on a lighter note, I have been enjoying time with my niece. Thank you, Chris. It looks like the sun is just setting now. And I was telling my niece, who lives in New York, we were going in and out of the pool, and she was having popsicles and drinking sparkling water. And my sister made some corn, and I said, yeah, this is what we do. This is the California way. You kind of just lounge and you enjoy the sun, and you may dip in the pool and then get out and have a cold drink or have a popsicle. However, you just do this incessantly. This is what summer is for. And I'm reminded of that because living in a place where it's always summer, the concept of summer is so foreign. Living in Hawaii has taken away that extra appeal of summer because it's always summer. It's always warm. And I can still catch the light. Let me move this over. I shared how I had to learn the seasons, and I learned the seasons by knowing what was in bloom. So I knew it was the beginning of summer because it was mango season and what that means. And I knew it was the beginning of fall because it was avocado season. And when it is warm all the time, I found that that is the best way to categorize the seasons. Otherwise, you don't. It's always warm. It's always warm. Hello. I am drinking some tea. Let me see. I have two things. I always have a cup of tea. I'm trying to stay in the sun, which means I need to shift. I may or may not shift. So I'm drinking some summer berries tea. It's a black tea with blueberries and blackberries and berries and berries. And then I have an Italian sparkling water because I love my sparkling water. And it's a mineral water, which I appreciate. And I'm chilling. I will go make something for my sister and my niece later. I really enjoy cooking, so I'm gonna make something light. But outside of that, that's all that I'm drinking. I did tell my father I would make him a pina colada because I have some fresh coconuts and pineapple. However, I don't indulge. What's up, Donald from Atlanta? What's up? So Yeah, it's been nice. Just, oh, isn't it? I love a nice tea. Even a hot tea if it's hot outside. I love that. I do. What's up, Nick NY? Good to see you. Had a really good time with my niece who's 13 and my sister, my youngest sister, just jumping in and out of the pool and tanning and visiting family in on the mainland, basically, not in Hawaii. Thank you, the drum tech. And my parents just love us to enjoy our time. So if I was gonna make something, if I'm at home and I don't have one ingredient, I'll just forego it. And my mom will say, no, let's go to the store. And I forgot how nice that is. Like, just always going to the store. And just enjoying family. This morning we spoke about, or I posted something about minimalism. I am not, hello, lovey. I am not, and I see why I am not. My mom still, to this day, and all of her children are adults, she still buys the big 25-gallon things of sugar and flour and rice. And I'm thinking, Mom, it's just you and Dad. You guys have enough food to feed an army. Why so much? And the feeling of that perceived thought of just abundance, like there's always more. And my mother would always say, okay, to get some of the California sun. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that because I love the sun. You know, I'm a sun goddess. I love the sun. I feel the freest in the sun and my most beautiful self in the sun, and I gain from the sun. And I love the Hawaii sun because that's where I reside. However, the sun is great wherever you are. The California sun is what's natural to me. If you're lucky, well, enjoy your time with him. Yeah, this California sun has hugged me and welcomed me. Well, enjoy the time. It's not the intended time that he's leaving. It's the moment now. And I learned that when an animal of mine transitioned, I was reminded of how to enjoy this moment. Not, I only have X amount of time. You have this moment. That's what matters. That's what matters. Focus on that. That may be of some benefit. Yeah, I love this California sun. It is my native sun, and it just is lovely. And just being able to be with family and enjoy the company of family. Exactly. That's why I was reminding my niece. I am so happy to see her because we both used to live on the East Coast and I would see her more. And now it's at different moments in the year. However, when I see her, it's always the best time. And thank you. Oh, that's sweet. I love that. I'm feeling all of that. I shared with my niece, I'm so happy that you're here and we get to lay out in the sun and put oil on. And I was eating dragon fruit. She was eating a popsicle, and just, she's 13, and that time in life and being with your grandparents and your aunties and just enjoying, not foreseeing what you have to do, just enjoy. My mom is the type of grandmother that will bring everything to you. Like, don't get up from the chair. I will bring you the juice. I will bring you the popsicle. I will bring you a plate of food. And thank you, Techno Pirate. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been in the sun and I was doing backflips into the pool. Thank you, Donna Dolly. I feel wonderful. And I reminded my father, I said, I feel great, Dad, because I get to be around my daddy. And he was like, that's right. And embracing that, my father is 76, and it does. I enjoy what I gain when I come to my parents' house. It's like my safe house. It's where I come to create or heal or be inspired or just laugh. And I've been doing a lot of that. And you will see that. This is why I show up the way I show up. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have parents that I want to see, and that the space is always inviting. Always inviting. Yeah, thank you. The fam does me good. Yeah. I said until I get tired of you and I fly away. But that won't be for a while. Thank you, Dancing Diva. I appreciate that. Look at you. Thank you. I need to do a little dance or something, because I was dancing out here. I'm in my, thank you, Hawaiian. I appreciate that. And I'm very free. So as I was in my parents' backyard, swimming in the pool with my 13-year-old niece and my younger sister, of course, I take off my top. Yes, you are a dancer. And you danced your way into 1,000 likes for me. I appreciate that. And I took my top off, and I could see my niece be like, that's Hope. Like, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And that feeling of freedom, like, I'm in my parents' backyard. Plus, I am all for, I do like a tan line. I think a tan line is sexy and elegant. But why not? Why not? If you're gonna tan. Just take on the sun, then dip in the pool, then get out and lay out and let it all out. Like, just tan. And showing that freedom to my niece. It's not about covering up. That's really what I would do anyway. And yes, I'm very aloha. Thank you. I will. I'm surprised how quiet it is for being 7:44 Pacific time. Maybe, oh duh, the sun is still out. That's how I don't even pay attention. And I am not someone that regards any of the holidays. Yeah, please. Thank you for liking the live and sharing the live. I appreciate it. Because when I was flying, as soon as I left my parents' home or turned 18, I didn't really celebrate anything. And flying meant that there was no such thing as a holiday. Hey, hello, girl. It's not like Christmas, the airport was closed. There was no such thing. So regardless, every day was just a productive day. However, I would always make time, multiple times a year, to come be with my parents. However, to be here during summer. And my mom would make like a strawberry pie. She loves, there's an abundance of fresh strawberries where I grew up. So it's very easy to buy some fresh strawberries and have some nice strawberry pie with my mom. And I'll see one of my other sisters who's also here. However, I'm enjoying the sun. I love the sun, whether it's Hawaii or California. I love the sun. And as I was speaking earlier about going into any travel situation with your mind made up, meaning knowing that it's going to be a great time for you. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be easy travel experience. Everything is going to go your way. And if something does transpire, Allow it to not deter you from continuing to have a great experience. And I share that as a moment of checking in. Things happen, but it doesn't have to take away from your entire experience. I say it always comes back to me. I get to choose. I get to choose if something is irregular, and if I choose for it to derail the course of my day. No, it's one small thing. I can think about it and say, how do I feel about that? Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, well, I don't know. I can't understand that person's perspective because we all come from different walks of life up until we cross. However, I don't make the assumption that it was done personally towards me. And furthermore, Central California. And furthermore, let me assume that it was personal and done towards me. So what? So what? Let me assume that the person stepped on my foot on purpose. So what? I have the choice to still make the decision that it was a one-off, it was a mistake. And even if it wasn't, I do not have to carry that. I can say, oh, well, that has nothing to do with me. And furthermore, I'm not going to allow this to take away from the beauty of this day, this experience, time with my family. So what? It's that easy, at least for myself. And good night, and thank you. Thank you for popping up into the live. How easy it is. Because I am the one that gets to control it. Also, working in customer service and being a flight attendant, there were many times where I could have allowed, and I possibly did. This is a work in action. It took some time to gain my footing in the air. It takes time. But at this moment in life, nothing can take me away from that. I get to choose. I get to choose. Even if something happens, let's say I'm at the grocery store and someone steps on my foot. More than likely, once that happens, I will not repeat the story. I do not care to repeat things that I don't want in my life. So if that happens, I'm not going to get on the phone and call someone to relive the experience, and call someone else to relive the experience, and call someone else to relive the experience. It's a one-off and it's gone. That's all you need. Listen, emotional regulation is the key to life. If someone has the ability to control you, that means they have the ability to essentially take your energy, which is taking your life. If I give anything outside of me the ability to allow me to feel sad or unworthy or less than or not beautiful or not capable, that actually has nothing to do with them. They're just validating something that's within me that I'm reflecting, that I can see. But to me, it all comes back to me. I get to choose. I find that a place of power. And I do feel good. I do wake up and I do go into journaling and I get things out of my mind and I script the beauty in the day and I have my I am statements. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am optimal health. I am hydrated. I am flexible. I am peacefully releasing all things that no longer serve me. I do a whole page and then I go into a meditation. I go into a prayer and I start the day. I don't just pop up and go into the day. No, you have to prepare yourself. This is preparation. And after a while, it snaps into place. So even if something did arise, my first thought isn't, this is terrible, this always happens. The thought would be, why do the best things happen to me? Why do I feel so good? I will automatically just counteract. Also, I choose to stay in that place to speak, to show up, to be in these spaces. It's a conscious, deliberate effort. I'm hydrated. I rest when I need to. Well, yeah, and that's okay. I also, if I'm feeling a feeling, I feel it, and I allow myself to feel it. I don't push it away. If it's anger, I found a way to release that. I usually take like a stick and beat a pillow to get that out. It leaves, it just passes. If it's sorrow or if I'm affected in some way, I often journal, or I'll go and speak out loud, why am I feeling this way? And I allow it to pass, and I give myself the space for that. And then I allow myself to rest, or I say, listen, hope you've done a good job. Woo, see how you handled that? And then go on. However, no one has control over the way I feel. I do. That's the only position of power that I will stand on. No one can make me feel anything. I choose how I feel. And this is for myself. This is for myself. This is empowering for me. Because then I am not in a space of blame. I get to choose. I get to choose. And what does that mean if you're in that space? How do you show up if I have to claim it? And I remember a friend saying, well, my ex made me feel uncomfortable. I said, okay, but you're no longer with him. She said, right. I said, well, then if you feel insecure, you have to claim that. That's no longer being carried for someone else. And if we choose to claim that, what does that mean? Does that mean we actually feel that way? Or does that mean that we can be in a position of power to say, hey, wait a minute. That wasn't them. That was something that maybe they triggered me, or whatever it is that you feel. I don't know. This is how I do it. This is what works for me. I don't know if it can be beneficial, but this is beneficial for me. Because if I'm staying in an empowered state where I claim that, I have the power to change it, heal, transform, claim it, not claim it, say, hey, do I even still need this? Worry, doubt, or fear? No, I don't. And then I can be in a state of power and empowerment and pride and strength. Listen, suffering is up to, for me, it's up to me. As I say, for me, it's up to me. I choose how I handle it. If I want to carry it for 25 years, that's my choice. That's not their choice. Oftentimes, let's say you have a disagreement with someone and you're upset and you don't like them, they don't even know, nor do they care. So carrying this disdain for a person that isn't even thinking about you has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Or everything, let me put this for myself, everything to do with me and how I choose to judge it, or what perspective I choose to look at it. Or do I just let it go? A lot of the stuff, let it go. So what? I often say this, people just show up how they show up. And I was speaking to my father because I find it through all my travels, and I speak to everyone, and I just analyze people. This is where a lot of this comes from, being the flight attendant and sitting in Mumbai or New Delhi or Japan or Buenos Aires or Barcelona and just watching people interact. I have no expectations of anyone. I allow a human being to show up. Now, if we are engaged in a friendship or a relationship, I'm able to express. However, for me to expect someone to show up how I want them to, it's going to be a failure on my side and their side. They don't even know about the expectation. I'm already holding them to an expectation that they're unaware of. So that outcome is futile. And how when I choose to allow human beings just to show up and then set my boundaries or then express without judging and saying, well, you should have known. People don't know. They don't know. And really, how dare me to expect a person from a completely different journey through life to show up how I expect them to, with the mannerisms, with the ideals, with the boundaries, with the wordage that I see them to only have. That is insane. I choose to allow a human being to show up. When they show up, how they show up, I'm not offended when they show up in their own way, because that's just how they show up. However, I can have the space to say, okay, I choose to still show up around this person, or I choose to have them closer or farther, or I can just choose to let it go. Like, I don't, unless it's a family member or someone that I really appreciate in my life, I don't care. And I've been in a lot of interesting situations. I remember I had a flatmate when I lived in London. And this flatmate taught me a lot. Because she had experienced traumatic events that most would never imagine. And she told me about a time where she was quite young, before she could read. She might have been 4 or 5. And her mother gave her a note that was folded up and said, wait 5 minutes, here they go, and hand this to your father. And so, not knowing the increments of time, she immediately went and handed this note to her father. And as her father unfolded and read the note, the mother drifted off to the backyard. And I believe this was in Botswana. So the father reads the note, and it was a note explaining how the mother was going to unalive herself. Hello, Jasmine. Nice to see you, girl. Thank you for the hearts. So imagine at age 4 or 5, feeling that from your father, saying, oh my gosh, picking up his daughter and running to the backyard only to see her mother swinging from the tree. And her father signals her at 4 or 5 to grab a chair so her father could stand on the chair to untie his wife from the tree. And she witnessed all of this. Now this individual was 30 plus years old. However, how you're affected when you see this scene. And I share this to share how my mind was expanded. Just hearing that that was a scene that someone around 5 years old saw. And how this scene was carried with her. And the scenes afterwards. And I've shared how I'm visiting my family and so happy and in the pool and lots of food and great times. And that's just my experience. I cannot expect for my experience to be the shared experience. and how I learned so much from this individual, because we lived together 3 years, and her experience of life was not always optimistic. And yet she was living in a house with me. And how I learned to understand that, yes, people have had some scenes within their life that they carry with them. And they still show up. We never know what are the scenes in people's backgrounds. And to hold space and to learn from that. And maybe I was a bit of light for her for those years that we were around each other. However, to know that, sure, possibly. I don't believe that. My father says nothing is a coincidence. And how I learned so much from her, even through her experiences in life. And that's really where I learned to be expanded in thought and expanded when listening to others' journeys through life. Learning to hold the space without judgment. Learning that there is something for me to learn from that moment, from that person, from that experience, from that hurt. And the person still went on with life. It's all of it. And that paid a beautiful addition to how I just would allow people to show up. And not making assumptions, because I don't know. We don't know. As I was talking to my father earlier, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. As I was talking to my father, born in 1947, Vietnam War vet. He was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and then a flight instructor, and then the first something to open a car dealership, and then do this and do that, and then met my mom and married. And I bring this up because my father is sensitive to this day. Because a lot of war vets, or people who have suffered trauma or assault due to a weapon, the firecracker is the same sound. And a lot of veterans have a discomfort with the 4th of July because of all the fireworks. So I add that in there just to be aware that that's or anyone who has been affected. Yeah, that's right, very triggering. Anyone who's been affected with a weapon. However, my father would always say most people are wimps. Yes, yeah. My father is a post-traumatic stress disorder survivor, as am I when the plane went down. So my father would say most people in life are wimps. I translate that to, I understand how it can be uncomfortable to accept personal responsibility. My father says most people are wimps. I say I understand how accepting personal responsibility may be uncomfortable. To say, hey, I did that. Hey, I was in a bad space. I stole that from you. Hey, I broke your computer. Can I pay for it? Often, individuals will sweep it under the rug. Sure. Yes, yes, yes. I don't understand. Please allow me communication to restore. Just clarify. He did. And I told him that. I said, that's why I'm a strong, lovely human being. And he said, yes, you are. And I noticed today, because my father is 76. Oh, thank you. That the signs were picking up that he was feeling a little uncomfortable. Frequent trips to the bathroom, and earlier today he was a bit shooken up, and then I remembered it is the 4th of July. And at times, if I'm feeling something in my body, I'll ask myself, what is the day? Did something happen on this day? Because for years, my father had a stroke 9 years ago, but for the first 4 or 5 years after he had a stroke, the day that he had a stroke, I had a feeling in my body, and I remembered, oh, this was the day Dad had a stroke. And sometimes these things are just within us. And even to ask ourselves, be it out loud or think like, oh, that was the day that, yeah, I got in a car accident. It's still within our body. Yeah, of course. Listen, I live a good life. I live a fabulous life. A hydrated, beautiful food, loving people, space to create, space to be me, swimming, family. I live a great life. And I'm grateful. Thank you, I am Faye. Yeah, our cells still remember. And we can reprogram that. We can let that go. But it's knowing, oh, this is why it feels this way. And I was sharing with my dad how when he said most people in life are wimps, and I translate that to, I understand how personal accountability can be uncomfortable. However, it only takes one time to become accountable. Meaning, that fear of people won't like me, people may fight me, people may not like when I say, hey, I did this, hey, I stole that, hey, it was me, hey, I broke the window, hey, I broke your car. That constant fear of the response will keep an individual from taking accountability or personal responsibility. However, it only takes one time to see, oh, it's not that bad. Hey, I drove your car and I got a flat tire. Instead of saying, I don't know what happened. You see, oh, it's not what I was fearing. But it takes the chance of taking the accountability to understand it's not going to be that bad. That's why you came. I have that energy. I'm an earth goddess, and this is the vibes come out and you listen, and then everything starts changing. That's what I do, sir. That's what I do, okay? And plus, I was just swimming and laying out topless and all oiled up in the backyard and got my California sun. Let me tell you, I love my Hawaiian sun. See how I just jump around? I love my sun. I love the sun anywhere. I love the sun. I am hope. I don't, okay, D-Way 111, I think we've talked about this. I do not attach to any of these labels. I eat the best food, especially if I'm cooking it or my mother's cooking it. It's freshest produce. It's seasoned exceptionally well. I have the most eclectic taste. So no, I don't adhere to any of that. I eat delicious food. If I'm in the south of France or in the south of Italy, I'm going to have a margherita pizza with pomodoro and buffalo mozzarella. I don't adhere to any of these systems. I just eat and I make it look good, okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, nah, I'm free. I am freedom. And when I say that, there's a freedom in the cadence of my voice. There's a freedom even for me to shave my hair and show up this way. There's a freedom in everything I do. I'm very free. I'm very confident. And it ultimately comes back to my foundation. And this is why I speak of my parents often. Yes, this is me, but this is what they poured into me. I've never thought that there was anything I couldn't do. This is why I do everything. I never said I can't because they won't like me because I'm not good enough. No, I've known I can do everything. Go, try. If it doesn't work, you can always come back home. I have that element of freedom. And I owe it to my parents. Now, I challenged it while traveling and dismantling beliefs, which increase that element of freedom because I'm safe within myself. I'm confident in what I know. I'm confident in what I don't know. I'm confident that really I don't know much. Even though I believe I know something, all it takes is more information to dismantle what I think I believe. So there's that. However, put me in the sun with a sparkling water and I'm good. And that's as easy as it is for me. I had said I love my California sun. You already have it with me, sir. You don't need, I'm calling you in, not calling you out. You saw what you needed. You don't need that friendship. You already are seeing hope. My name is Hope. I'm physically the manifestation. Hope is speaking. So maybe what you feel you crave, you're actually already in it. And to be present and see that it's already here is all you need. And I look at my parents and I say, you guys were on to something. These names, these are things you wanted to see in the world. Hope. A sister named Faith, a sister named Charity. This isn't by happenstance. It isn't by happenstance that I'm this positive. I've been called Hope my whole life. At times I am that physical manifestation of what hope is for someone. I accept that. And I make it look good, honey. This California sun is hot and I love it. And I taught my niece how to really oil it up. I said, you gotta oil up your cheeks. You gotta tan the cheeks. Come on. This beautiful brown golden skin thrives in this sun. The goal is to receive all you need from the sun, have a great night's sleep, and then you wake up fresh, ready for the day. Okay? You gotta oil up the cheeks, oil up the skin, lay in the sun, get those rays. Then your smile is shining brighter. Your eyes are brighter. The whites of your eyes are brighter. Your skin is brighter. Actually, your hair and your nails grow faster in a warmer temperature. And so somebody got to teach the kid. She's 13. Who else is going to teach them that you got to oil up the cheeks? You got to oil up and lay out in the sun. And appreciate the day. Appreciate the family. Appreciate that I'm your auntie. Come on now. And then we were doing flips in the pool. I did a backflip. She was like, oh my gosh. Cannonballs, and we'll do another night swim. However, that to me is what you see. I don't care about a fashion show or a handbag. Listen, I've actually done that. This is why I can say it doesn't resonate with me. I've done it. I thought it would be this enthralling feeling. I've shared with anyone who's new to the live. I was a flight attendant for 15 years. I've lived all over the world. I've been a model. I worked fashion adjacent. So for years, I would go to London Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week and Berlin Fashion Week. And I thought it would bring me the feeling that it didn't. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. There's an energy. But it's not the same feeling as being with family, just smiling, just hanging out in the sun. Sure, I've had every designer you can think of, and even better, because it was curated vintage designer. not necessarily signature, which I don't like. And it's great. I love style. I love fashion, but it's just clothes. And I learned that as a vintage collector. I had 6 closets. I had every designer from some of their first pieces to eclectic designers from all over the world. And it's great, but it's just clothes. It's just clothes. And I love beautiful clothes, but it's just clothes. It doesn't bring that same essence of when my mother makes fresh lemonade and brings it out to me. That is a feeling. I shared the story where I was in the south of France in Cannes at the film festival, and I went to the Amphar Gala, which is one of the most notable galas of the year, let alone Cannes. And yes, everyone that you can think of is there at my table or around. However, it's just a gathering with people. It didn't really do too much else to my life. And I still encourage individuals to, thank you, sir, to try to find these things. I did think it would bring me something. Maybe at the time it did, but it was fleeting. And even wanting to be associated with people, which I have been, whether they were notable people or people that you could see and say, I know this person, they are a notable or famous figure because, yeah, it's just another individual who happens to be an occupation that is widely known. Outside of that, it's no different than anything else. And I put myself in these positions to feel like, is this real? Is this something that matters? Does this add to me? No. Well, maybe I can share this. Oh, this, man, it was fantastic. I'm going to go for another night swim. It's fantastic. And then it was like, no, I'm that someone. I don't crave having a partner where I say, hey, this is so-and-so. Actually, I crave someone saying, this is Hope. You know Hope. It's Hope. And having my dream be built and recognized. However, it takes the whole journey to acquire this. So it's all of it. I've really done quite a bit in my life and been at some of these events. However, it doesn't feel as good as when my mom and dad smile when I walk through the door. For me, that's what's important. My health is important. The health of my family is important. My sisters, the people that I find that are pivotal in my life, or my dreams, my goals, my spirituality, what I know is real. That's important. Everything else isn't. This is why all this stuff just rolls off my back. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like my outfit or my earrings. Great. That's fantastic you feel that way. I'm glad you found something that resonates with you. So what? It doesn't mean anything about my journey in life. Well, I have. So I don't... It's also a gift. I'm also an artist. So I understand as an artist, there is a gaze of, wow, this person is superior at X, Y, and Z. And people are just people. People are just people. Whether they're recognized or not. And I also found this out while living in London. I knew a string of beautiful women who were associated with very wealthy individuals. And I was always the funny, quirky one. And how I saw, to me, how inexpensively an individual would exchange their thoughts, their ideas, their life force for a perceived amount of money, which I understand as well. However, that helps me understand more about myself. And it's all a journey. I speak about what I have engaged in personally. I don't speak it if I'm not living it and challenging myself. That's really my art, crafting the words through how I see life. And at times I believe I've journeyed all over the world to say, hey, we're the same. And let me tell you why. Because I've had lived a colorful life, and let me share, this is how I learned this lesson in this way. Maybe to enable a space for healthy communication, because when I listen to individuals, what I hear is not always the most intentional use of communication. And the misuse of communication is the catalyst for a disagreement. Because often we're defining a word or a thought in our own way. And by clarifying it, or by clarifying your thought in a concise way that can be absorbed by the listener, creates clarity that creates a space of even exchange. Or that's a start. And how beautiful it is to just communicate without judgment, without fear, without regret, and be received, be heard. And I speak about this because I speak to my father about this. This is where I learned this. As well as my mother. My mother's an exceptional communicator as well. And I also saw them communicate. I didn't see people go upside their heads with a pot. I saw two individuals communicate. And how powerful that is. To be in a space where communication was the way. And just feeling grateful. Just feeling grateful. Yeah, that's what it's about. To build your character is to build yourself. And also, I love recreating myself. I've done it several times, really. Several times. And the beauty of it, oftentimes all we need is just a redirection for ourselves. We don't have to continue being who we are. Maybe we want to just change up our hair or change up our circle of friends. I often say, just change, just move. It seems drastic. Oftentimes it can be the best thing. Just move. Start over. Recreate. Challenge yourself. I'm still by the pool. Yeah, I'm still outside because I'm going to take a night swim. I told my niece, listen, my niece is a New Yorker. She was born and raised in New York. However, she spends every summer here in California with my parents, and her father is a flight attendant, so she's like been traveling the world since she was like 8 or 9. She's the best traveler. I love my niece. She's like one of my favorite. All my nieces I love. I love all of my nieces and nephews. Now, I'm going to leave it at that. However, I told her this is what we do. This is the California way. You come outside, you chill, you jump in the pool. We jump around in the pool, then we get out, we drink a cold drink, we have an ice cream, have some cherries, you know, maybe eat some watermelon. We heard the ice cream man, we ran outside, he had already passed, and you come back, you oil yourself up, you sit out in the sun, and we just kind of do that all day. That's what summer's for. It's not this hustle and bustle like New York. No, this is California, baby. Chill. This is California, baby. Sit back and relax and enjoy the sun. Your grandma, my mom, will gladly bring us food after food after food. It's time to chill and relax and take in the rays. You know, get bronze. Just chill. Life is good. Because these moments will pass. And confirmation. However, it's nice to appreciate them, and I appreciate them. Okay, Vallejo. Okay. That's where Fody Water is from. To remember, and to be able to say, remember that time when we were in the backyard? What's up, Gary Hen? Just chilling? Yeah. I said, go get the oil. You got to oil up the cheeks. You flip over, make sure your cheeks get all tan. I love a nice tan line on the booty, you know. You gotta teach these young ones how to do it properly. Somebody's gotta teach them. Come on. You gotta stay hydrated when you're out in the sun. But you gotta tan the cheeks. Look how beautiful the skin looks with a little oil and a little sun and some happiness. Come on now, this is how we do it. I am serious about this good life. Sure, I'm me. I don't know if that's a question or a statement, Masafi. Okay, well, I don't know who Earl is. However, you know what I say. If it gets difficult, goodbye. I'm cutting this. Cut it. It's not going to get too difficult for me. Life is very easy for me. I keep it very simple. And I communicate well. Listen, ain't nothing that difficult. Oh, okay. Yeah. We love Fody Water. Come on now. They popping the fireworks, Sam. I'm out here talking about Fody Water. And they popping the fireworks. The sun hasn't even came down. I love that, Nikki. No, that's my type of friend, that you go by the first name. Of course. I love that. That's normal for me. People are going to be like, no, Hope. Hope? Yeah, Hope is speaking. Oh, Hope. Okay. Yeah, of course. I love Earl. In fact, because he's put out so many projects and then went into his winemaking and constantly evolving as a entrepreneur, as well as being one of the founding fathers of West Coast, to me, California hip hop. Because I am hip hop. I am, really. When I say Fody Water, that's what me and my sisters say, you know? Tama, Fody Water. Yeah, I'm young. I'm always going to be a young heart because I live a good life. You only get old when you get restricted and direct people and say, I can't do this, I can't do that. That's not me. No. I live a light, good, fun life. Okay? In Alexandria, Virginia? Are you in Virginia? We talked about that because I lived in VA. I am delightful. I am. And I gotta say, I am. I tell my mom all the time, what's not to love? And she says, girl, hush. Yeah. We talked about that. VA was hot. Okay, so here's a great story. Sam, do you have another back that you can bring me if you're still in the chat? Because my sister is in the live, but she's inside. The earring back fell off. And it goes with the ensemble. So when I moved to VA, when I was first based in DC, my sister Samantha came out to visit me. And I'm from the Central Valley in California, where it's dry heat. It's like 113 pure heat. It feels like you're in an oven. Like there is no humidity, there is no wind. It's hot, okay? It's just hot. Now look at this. There they go, popping these fireworks. So when she came to visit me in VA, it's humid. And I didn't have a car, so we were hopping on the circulator or the bus to go to Old Town or I was by the Van Dorn Metro. Yeah, it's got there now. Now they're starting to pop the fireworks. So, we were outside, and my sister, I say she looked like a pastor. She brought a sweat towel. She had a sweat towel in her pocket. Like, it's so hot. I'm like, why do you have a sweat towel? What are you, in church? Like, just don't bring a sweat towel. But I understand. I understand when it's that hot and humid, because VA is hot and humid. And the animals, don't like all the popping of the fireworks. Yeah, well, I went to all of the revivals and the lodges. I know about that. I have that element in me as well. My view isn't too much. Let's see. I'll show one part, because this is the view. Just in the backyard. That's the slide to the pool. And I'm, as I said, at the parents' house, looking at the slide and the pool, chilling. It feels great today. Listen, baby, it feels great every day to me. Okay, I don't know what you saying. I make every day a great day. Okay, I get the choice. I get the choice. Did you hear my story about the other day when I had to call the bird call? Tell my neighbors that Rent-A-Center was pulling up, trying to take their furniture. Like, there's real stuff going on. So I appreciate every day. Even that was hilarious. I rushed to the phone to message my friend, hey, they coming. Lock the door. Like, Rent-A-Center is here. But even that, think about that. People are really going through hard times. If I can just offer a word that someone laughs or feels inspired, I've done my good for the day. In reality, that's what I feel that I was put on the earth to do. The way I style words, I'm not a singer, I'm a speaker. I probably can sing. I love to write hooks. I love to write choruses. I've always loved that. However, I love detailing a story, bringing you into it. And I would hear people say, well, you're a speaker. What do you do? I speak. Just listen to me and you'll understand. This is my craft. It's not for you to understand. It's for you to observe and then get it. And then you get it. Oh, I see. I have to be in these streets to get the stories, So I love life. I love talking. I love speaking. I love interacting with people. I love holding space. I love being under the sun. I love being under the moon. I love being in nature and bringing it back to individuals that may not be able to see it, but they see it when I craft it. And finding your own personal magic into a detailed story and analogies and brings you into a book. And as you're listening, you're seeing it. And in your mind, turning pages and seeing it. Thank you. I've been amused. That's what I do, sir. That's just what I do. However, you know, you see, I just gotta take it, okay? I want to be off. And that is the beauty of finding what's for you. And there's an element of that when I was flying. I believe I traveled the world and been to all of these countries. Oh yeah, with her silly butt, I told her, that's what you get for trying to outdo hope. Exactly. Not everyone can do that, and I understand it's difficult because when you're telling a story, you've already lived it, but someone else can't. So there's elements that are often forgotten because you're seeing it. However, if you said it, it would craft the picture for the listener. It's a craft, it's a skill. The more you see, the more you can craft a picture. A lot of musicians, that's the beauty of what they do. They craft a story. I am, and I'm more than that. I don't even downplay that. That is done. Yes, please do. I love for someone to sing to me. I love for someone to write a song about me. I love all of that. I do want, now, so here's the thing. I see my life as like, I see it as a book or a romantic comedy, sci-fi thriller, independent, foreign film. And there's certain elements I want. I've always wanted artistic black and white, high fashion nudes, which I got several years ago. They're beautiful, but it's not like, it's not distasteful. It's very tasteful, black and white, high fashion, artsy, by a photographer friend of mine. I think we're in Santa Monica. Beautiful, like artistic nudes. Then I've always wanted a painting of me. And I had a friend who's an artist. He was like, yes, I would love to do a portrait. His partner was not open to him doing a oil painting of me. I don't know why. As an artist, you just paint. I don't know why it would be different if it's me. And like to give to my nieces or nephews, like a portrait painted of me, like I will forever live on. Take this to every home that you ever live in. And as they, hi, there's one of my nieces coming out now. And yes, she just put her hand in. Thank you, Scott. I love her so much. I'm gonna make some pico de gallo. What?
You know how we have rice paper?
Yeah.
Can we cut it and try making like noodles with it?
Yeah, and we can also make just dumplings. We can stuff them. Yeah. So okay. You've never been so wild. Well, baby, I'll knock your socks off. Let me tell you that. My mom would say, you better watch out now. This is Italian sparkling mineral water. Because I love mineral water. A lot of the water in the US is like depleted of minerals. So I like to drink mineral water, and I tend to drink sparkling water. Okay, the little poppers are okay. But when people start with those MS-60, I don't even know what they're called. I don't even know what they're called. I don't even find it fun to pop fireworks. Anyway, I enjoy that others are having fun. So what was I saying? There's that, the portraits. Oh, I want a flower named after me. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely want a flower named after me. It is, right, Nikki? Like, it's okay. It'll pass. That's what it's called, the M80. I called it an M30 or something. Them M80s, it's ridiculous. However, it will be over in a few days because people will be popping these fireworks for the next few days. I think there's a few other things, but I would love to like have a flower named after me. Oh, or a wing of some place. Like, this is the Hope Wing. Why not? Right until the end of the month. That's right, because they'll say, you know, I already bought them, so I got to use them all up. So me and my niece, I think we're gonna make sushi burritos. We make a dish every night. We made some like sushi rolls with fish cake, rice, seaweed, avocado, carrot. We rolled it up and then wrapped it with rice paper. And did you? Oh my gosh, Heather. Okay. See, you can actually get a flower named for you, like the Heather Phillips flower. That's what I want. Now I'll have to start thinking of the color and everything. However, that's nice to be named after a flower. So tonight we're going to experiment with rice paper because there's so many things you can make. You can easily make dumplings. You can easily make all sorts of things. And so I have some, I know, you know, Silos, come on. You know, when I cook, it's always a good time. And my mom, and there's always so much food. Like, my parents still stock the house like there's a family of 6. There's always like, Mom, why are there 6 bottles of soy sauce? Really? Why do you have 8 bags of powdered sugar? Thank you. That would be fantastic. Mom, why do you have a 25-gallon barrel of rice? It's you and Dad. It's going to take y'all 15 years to go through all of this, but whatever. And they don't mind when we experiment and cook because that's what my mom does. So, exactly. So we do like to cook every night, and when I'm in California, I love my Mexican food. I have shared my love of Mexican food, my love of making tortillas and pico de gallo and guacamole and enchiladas. And 2 days ago, I made some horchata. And I will make probably hibiscus agua frescas. We just like cooking and coming outside and eating like we're chilling with the family. And my parents just enjoy us to have a good time. No. No, there ain't nothing I want in Tejas. I can tell you that, Harry. Yeah, no. It's a bit too humid. If I'm traveling, there's a few areas in the nation that I'll go to, but then I'm going outside the country. No, I'm not going to the humidity of Tejas. I can assure you of that. However, thank you for the invite. Yeah, the beauty of family. This is why I don't care when people say things. I have a mom that loves me, a dad that loves me, sisters most of the time. They always love me. Sometimes they don't like me. But that's what matters. That's what matters. Yeah, most of the time, and if we don't, I just fly away. I always like my mom and dad. My sisters are just them, and I allow them to show up. I love you too, Harry. I allow them to show up how they show up. And I will love them in that present moment for how they show up. And that's it. That's how I'll leave it. So I guess we'll make food and then come out and watch these fireworks and take a night swim and take a morning swim. Just swim. It's chilling. Yeah, what's not to love? Not even like, sir. What's not to love, okay? I can tell you that much. What's not to love? I say that. Life is good. I ain't got time to say life ain't good. I ain't got nothing to drink. Make a choice to make it good. It's your challenge to make it good. That ain't up to nobody but you. And do what you need to do to like your experience. It's not anyone's fault but yours. If you don't like the people you're around, disappear. I've done it. If you don't want them calling you, change your number. I've done it. If you don't even like where you live, just move. I've done it. Leave it. Do something else. You don't have to do anything. You really don't. That's up to you to choose. However, choose wisely, choose well, and take responsibility that it is your choice. So, what have we learned? We have learned that that's just entirely too loud. Like, why is that enjoyable to hear something that loud? What I have learned is I can deal with this. This is a passing moment. That life is up to myself to make the ideal experience. Since I choose to take ownership, yes, thank you, sir, as you should. That's what I do. Since I choose to take ownership over this experience, I am driving this vessel. And people can't drive you crazy if you don't give them the keys. Again, no one can drive you crazy if they don't have the keys to drive you crazy. So remember that. You have a lot more control over your experience than you think. And once you ingest that, it's powerful. You'll really see how you can be the alchemist to your life. How you can say, no, this is going to be good. No, I feel good. I am good. I survived. I woke up today. I made it to this moment. Regardless of what happens, I'm here. I choose. I'm going forward. It's good. It's looking even better. And see how that feels. Be the reflection of love, because we all come from infinite source of love. Show up. Make it look good when you show up, but show up. Yeah, well, that's great. And 44 is a great number. It's one of my favorite numbers. All you got to do is show up. However, just show up. If you don't show up, the magic can't happen. However, once you show up and you know where you're supposed to show up, everything else will happen. Make it look good when you show up. I always make it look good when I show up. And get what you need out of life. Not get what's given to you. There's a big difference. I'm not taking any handouts. I am taking what I need, what I want, what I see. When you choose to receive what is for you, everything changes. So take that with you. Use some earplugs or go out and enjoy the fireworks. I'm going to find a space to enjoy the fireworks when I see them flash in the air. Maybe make a wish or set some intentions. And I will make this work for me. You see how easy that is? So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you found what you needed. And yeah, I'm here twice a day. As I share, I come on twice a day and speak an inspired message. If you miss me, I upload all of my lives onto my YouTube, which is Hope is Speaking. You can go to the daily TikTok lives, and some of them are 4 hours, some of them are 6 hours, like podcast length. However, you can find me there, and I will be making announcements because you will be seeing me on some stages soon speaking. So enjoy your 4th, enjoy your experience, and make it yours. It's yours to claim, and I know it will be great. So I will see you again. I will see you again. I love you. And go hydrate yourself. Boom. Where's all of the... Now these are pretty. See, there's some beautiful ones. Good night, good night, good night. They've already set off people's alarms. Anyway, time for me to cook food for my family. Good night.